Good morning, friends. Another beautiful morning in the mountains of East Tennessee. Birds are enjoying it. I'm enjoying my coffee. And I'm going to paint some flowers. So I want to show you what I've been doing. The supplies for this are in my description for this video, so you will find them there. I'm going to be working with the De La Ronis today. Got this one. I think this was part of my Amazon haul this year. It does come with a brush. It's hard to get out of there. And I've used it a little bit, but it's very convenient, very outside convenient kind of thing. And I've got my brushes. I always have to move my coffee to the left because otherwise you will dip in your coffee. So just, there's my tip of the day. All right, we got a brush. We're gonna use this one that came with this, but we're probably gonna switch it up as well. I've got another little palette here that we can use. I'm gonna spray it off and wipe it down just to start clean. Watch my dog run. He hates water. If I turn the hose on, forget about it. It's over. He runs, hides. All right. There we have our little palette. Okay. And my handy dandy outside towel. I'm going to be working from a book that I found through another a tutorial online that I had been working with, and I absolutely love it. It's called the Watercolor Guide, and again, this too is in the description below. But it allows you to, and it's very well made, very nice book. It's one of those that you just feel good about. It has flowers of all different types and different colors, but just to have a specimen of a flower like this that you can paint, and just to see, you know, the different variations of them, different colors. So all the whites at the beginning here. Then once you get through those whites, look how beautiful that is. Then you will start getting into the yellows, the pinks, the oranges, the purples. It's just fabulous. Greens. And I will show you some of the ones I've done. This must have been the last one I think that I did. But sometime, and you'll see I have a lot of markers here for things that I want to do. We may start there. Oh, this is from the De La Roni. This is my swatch sheet for it. So you can see the colors that we have there. Chinese white, lemon yellow, cad yellow, gamboge, vermilion, cad red, alizarin crimson, portrait pink, the blues, cobalt ultramarine, and Prussian. We have cobalt violet, purple lake, cerulean hue, viridian, leaf green, hooker's sap green, yellow ochre, light red, burnt sienna, burnt umber, and Payne's gray, and ivory black. So those are the colors that come with this little palette, which, like I said, this is really a good little travel palette. This does pop out for more area there, but I found it really difficult to get out, so I just kind of let it be. I have to have something pretty sharp to pry it up. But anyway, I like the palette. Let's move our brushes over, and we will put this right here. All right, and like I said, it does come with a little Aquafine number 4 round brush. So we may be using that. I've got clips here for my sketchbook. I'm going to set this aside. And let's find some flowers that we want to do today. There's just so many. And some of them I've already done, which I'm trying to skip through and see if there's something we want to do that I have not done that would be kind of fun to do for the tutorial today. I think we're gonna go with, I love those anemones, and I know I've done them before, but let's do those. If I can keep this page open. Not anemones, they're ranunculus. And it's cool because it has the type of flower, the actual botanical name for that flower, and then if it's a particular color or style, for example, this is the Clooney series, pale pink. I don't know, face filler, I have no idea what that means. Winter and spring is when you will see them. So anyway, it gives you some information regarding the flower itself. So let's do the ranunculus. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Now the sketchbook I'm going to be working in, this is, I've dedicated this one to flowers. This is Potentate, but it's actually Lightwish makes it. So I really like the paper that's in here. I like the size of this, nice cover. It's got a cloth on the end, and I started this nature. So this is my, and you'll see some, oh, I did some ranunculus there. The orange ones, Sweet William, Kayla lilies, Oncidium orchid, rose, and Easter lily. And like I said, I think that, yep, that was the last one I did, was the Easter lily. So you can see how you can fill a whole sketchbook up really with just from this flower book. And that's kind of what we're going to be, I'll work on this side so we can have this here for your reference photo. I don't think I really need to clip that, which is good. I may just, in case it gets a little rowdy around here. Just a little. All right, I'll put this other one back in my little basket. And for this one, I think I am going to use this some, but otherwise I'm going to be using a, let's see, for the stems, that's good. I think I'm going to use my little Nick Pro. This is the number 0 round, which is hilarious if you look at, I mean, that's a 0, that's a 4. It's just crazy. And I'll have these others on hand in case we feel like we need them. I don't have my best brushes outside, but that's okay because that's the whole thing. You know, you got to figure out how to use what you have for what you're doing. And if you're limited in supplies, that's going to challenge you some. So I'm okay with that. So for now, and you can do so much with just one good brush, preferably something that has a good sharp point, but is flexible. So it has a good, you know, this one's a little shorter than I would say for a good round. This one is, but has better belly to it, which is this part of it. So when you lay down, that's how full that's going to get. This one has a really nice point. So just use what you have. And as far as the colors go, now this particular palette, I believe I paid, I want to say just like less than 25. And it was available, I think I paid 22 actually for it. It was available during the Amazon days. So, well, like I said, I've got it in the description below, the link to it, so you'll be able to find that. All right, so let's get started. And one thing I'm missing, can you tell me what I'm missing? I'm going to tell you, water. Be right back. Now we have water. All right, I keep hearing the little hummingbirds. I love their little chirp, and you can tell they're around you because the sound of their wings is just incredible when they get right in your face, especially. But anyway, let's go ahead and figure out where we're going with this. So normally I would take, there he is, a mechanical pencil preferably, and very lightly just kind of sketch out where I want these flowers to be, because it's easy to get lost on a page. So I'm just going to very, very, very loosely, and the direction that they're facing also. So I'm going to change this one so that it's a little bit more up. And then we're going to put a couple buds over there. So now that's all I need right there, is that guidance of where I want those flowers to be. The stems, everything else will come naturally. The leaves will come naturally. So you don't have to do a lot of sketching on this. All right, with our brush, and let's see, actually, let's wet this one. And what I'm gonna do to start is just kind of figure out the color that I want for this pink. I hope you can see that with my coffee sitting there. It's on the outside, it's got a little bit of a pale yellow in the middles, but then on the outside, it's got this really pretty soft pink. So let's think about these colors that we want to use. I know I'm going to be using something really, really light, but I don't want it too bright, but let's see. So that's going to be, if I had some buff titanium, I would use that, but instead I'm just going to, I don't want to really add white, so I would just really be watering it down. And the reason, let's check this white. I don't remember, to be honest, how well that would, actually that might be okay. We do want it, you know, a little bit more vivid than the picture. That's part of the beauty of watercolors. You can add all that saturation, all of that, you know, the color, whatever it is that's speaking to you. So in the middle, kind of very pale, and remember watercolor dries lighter. So if it seems a little heavy to begin with, just know that's going to become paler. So now I'm just going to go ahead there, and this one here. All right, and then this one, you can see in between some of those, and that's really about enough. All right, that's all the yellow that we need. Now, let's look at some of these petals. We're gonna go with a pink, and I want, again, to use something that starts off bright, but when we water it down, is going to become, see, very soft. And if you can see that, you should be able to. Very soft pink. That's going to dry lighter. The thing to remember is that the pink is really more concentrated on the very edges of these petals. So what I would do is I will take the brush, and this is probably already almost dry, but I'm going to just kind of, and I don't know if you can see this, but you'll see in a second. I'm going to just gently pull in. It's darker, just right on the outside. I probably made those pencil marks a little bit darker than I meant to, but that's okay. We can cover it up with some color. See how easy it is to just kind of get those shapes, leave the white in between these petals. Remember that very middle is going to be black. So now that I've got some of them on there, I'm going to go right on the edge of some of these to really kind of emphasize. You hear that? Did you hear that chirping a minute ago? That little, they get kind of aggravated with me because I'm sitting relatively close to their feeders, but they've got so many to choose from here. They've got some down in the yard. They've got some up here. I think there's one that's their favorite. We'll let that dry, and then we'll add some more of those different layers right near the middle, because remember, we're going to have that black. It's like black. It's that the stamen in here. Let's have some coffee. The stamen, which is kind of, it's not really black, but it's close enough to black where we're gonna, you know, be kind of trying to make it light. That one's gonna be pretty dark, but the other's pretty light. But you get the idea. Okay, same thing here. We're gonna be, and this one, the black area is gonna be really kind of right there in the middle. And we're just kind of laying these, and it's more the edges of the outside of the petals. There you go. So it's just really a matter of getting these multi-petals all kind of laid in there. See, there's layers of them. These petals, you're kind of looking more directly at them. So you see how I'm just mostly on this side, wanting to separate out these layers a little bit. And it's almost like, I'm just gonna do this. You can see, I'm gonna lift this up so you can see how you've got this kind of pattern in the middle there. It's like you got a dark center, and then all around that center, the stamen are all popping up. So I'm gonna kind of try to mimic that. And then we're going with something much darker in the center. There we go. So I'm going to still kind of try to follow that pattern, knowing that some of these petals are just coming up in front of it. So it is going to be darker in the middle. I think that's really going to be almost enough there. It's funny, I've got this little dark area there, but I don't really want to worry too much about that just yet. This one here, very similar to the one in the middle, just a little darker. So we'll do the same thing. I just adore hummingbirds. Normally, I'll have different feeders on my porch, some for the regular birds, which I have so many different kinds here, and then some for the hummingbirds. But what I found happening was that the other birds kind of bullied the hummingbirds a little. All right, what do we think? I think these for the centers right now, I still want to get some more definition here. So let's just go right in with something a little darker. And darker still. It's just the thickness. It's a matter of the thickness of the paint. So it's not too harsh. When you have petals that are darker on the edges, what you can do is you can gently wet your brush and go around where you're just barely touching the outer edge, and it's going to pull the water and the paint down to a more a thinner layer, I guess I should say. Let me show you that again. So let's say this is the outside, and I want to specifically show that as the outside. I can pull this down just by adding some water to my brush. I kind of like that it's got a little bit more color on this one, so I may add a little more to the others as well. Let's do it. And I will show you the same process, what I was referring to a second ago. To avoid those really hard edges, you want to blend it down in there. So what we do is we wash our brush, not too wet, but then I'm just going to gently touch the end of that, and it's going to allow that paint to flow down into where the water is. You can use that for a lot of different types of flowers. Very lightly on this one. Before we get too far. I hope you can see that, what I'm referring to when I say that we're pulling it down in. Let's see if I can do one here to kind of show you. These are small, so it makes it a little harder to show. Putting water below the edge, and that's going to just kind of pull it in so that it's softer. These outer ones I really kind of need just to be a little bit more vivid. There we go. All right, I think I'm happy with those. Let's go ahead and get some green going. So I'm gonna follow, because that's the stamen. So pretend that we're coming out from there, and that's where your stem should start. And you do want to keep a very light touch. I'm gonna stray from the pattern here. And now I can take the darker green on this one. I don't want the emerald. Don't want that one, I want the hooker green, which is gonna probably be, that's why that one would, that's leaf green. That's not the one I wanted. So I'm gonna take this one and just gently drop it in there so it follows. It's just automatically gonna travel that same wet line, making it real easy to not get outside where you want to keep that thin line. There we go. All right, there's one. I think we're just gonna stick with this one. Yep, that's the green I want. This one down here, same principle. We're gonna come down like from as if we were behind it and just follow it down. Okay, this one up here, same thing. You look at the direction of the middle of the flower, so it's going to come this way. So from here, and I am going to turn this book, makes it a lot easier to get the angles that you need. So I'm going to be coming, make sure this one's dry. That's the one thing about working outside, is a lot of times it dries pretty quickly. This one almost doesn't look like it's lined up, but I'm going to make sure that it is, and I think I may end up going through very gently there on the edge, and then this way, and then I'm actually going to bring it the rest of the way here. All right, there we go, the 3 main stems. Then you've got one bigger one that's coming up here that has the 2 buds. I hope you can see that. I think you can. It looks a little fresh and green, so I want to kind of keep that. See, there's a little leaf down here. I don't care about that. We'll pretend there's one here. Can kind of tell the style of the leaf, and it doesn't have to be exact, but there you go. We're going to join those right about there. And I think I'm going to put this bigger one, well, let's do this little one. They're like little onion kind of shapes. I will go in and put darker areas in there where I need them, and keep a little highlight up at the top, just kind of like that. See how that does right at the bottom? Yeah. So now it's got shape. I'll probably put a little bit more right at the very bottom of that. And this one, I think I am going to put, I think I want it right here. So let's just do it. It's bigger. And you can tell where it's got a line there that's lit, and it's like a distinction between where those petals are going to be coming out of this bud. We can go back in here now and get this darker area down at the bottom, and we might as well drop this part in here. With those 2, this one seems like it needs to be a little thicker. I'm leaving it like that. Let's go to leaves. All right, and the leaves are going to be pretty much the same green, a little bit of lighter in there. So we're going to start with the one coming out of this join. Just like that. Pull some darker at the bottom. So I'm going to emphasize the rough side of this, and it can be turned just like that. I want it darker. Just touch it. And this one too. So if I do come this way, I do want to kind of have that shape. Looks like it's thinner in the middle. And that actually can work right there. Just didn't like the way it was coming in the picture behind that one, and it's just made it too hard to tell what it was. It's subtle, but it makes a big difference. See? All right, and the same thing will happen here when this is a little bit more. That's perfect. It's dry enough for that. Kind of make these little tiny distinctions. When this one dries, we'll do the same thing. I think this up here definitely needs to be darkened now that it's dried. All right, cool. A couple more leaves, and then we'll touch up this one once it gets dry. This petal, this stem is right with the flower. So I'm hesitant to put a leaf on there. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. And I'm gonna go this way. Go. Go with your gut. What makes sense to you? All right, we are about done. I'm going to get a little bit of detail in here. Give that some life. Pull some in here as well. This one's still okay. I think we good. Now we have some ranunculus, and what I've done on each one of these pages, that's all I need. So there we go. That is our flower for the day. So we have added to our book. I'll do another one on this side. And both of these are in, all of this is in my description below if you're interested in these supplies. So the book is fantastic. The paper is wonderful. Take our little clip off of there. I hope you will subscribe if you've not already subscribed to my channel. If you are subscribed, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. It does help to keep my channel going. And if you will hit a like, that helps as well. If you want to know when another video is being uploaded, just ring that bell and you will be alerted. Put something in the comments. Let me know you were here. Let me know if you've got flowers that you want to attempt. If you saw something in the book that you would like to do next, let me know and we can go ahead and cover that. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you and take care.